Um, Hi, good morning. How are you today?
Great as ever, Ricky.
I
Great as ever. And how are you doing?
I am good. So this is Rickie Dhillon, and today we're meeting with Dr. Colonel Siddique, and he is, like he described himself, the ordinary life of a soldier. But however, we would like to call him the inspiring journeys he had, um, and he had been on this journey for I don't know how long, ever since you graduated school, or ever since you've been in a school. So we have an extraordinary person sitting right in front of us, a decorated veteran of the Indian Armed Forces and an accomplished author and a passionate educator. All of these things that just bring us to this very deep point.
And a social activist.
And a social activist.
Yeah.
So it brings us to the steep point of, making a change and crafting that change in the society, and with coming from 360-degree life. So I always look at it that, your life's journey has been testament to the lifelong learning and service, whether it's as an author, whether it's as a soldier, whether it was as a educator, or whether it is as a social activist. Before this podcast, we've had interesting discussion about technology and young minds and their learning experiences. So, from battling insurgents in the Northeast to penning books on etiquettes, and from commanding troops to inspiring students, from being an author to just socially active in the community. It's just your journey has been inspiring. So let's join us welcome this extraordinary man with an ordinary life, like he describes, as a soldier, as an activist, as an author, and as a scholar and as a mentor. So, Dr. Colonel Siddique, welcome to this small podcast of two different countries, one in US and one in India. It's 9 p.m. of your time and 8:30 of our time. So I would like to thank you for being here. Would you like to say a few words, and then we'll start off? I have a few questions for you. I think I would love to know, our audience would love to know about you, about your journey. So if you would like to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Ricky. It is single mark of honor and pleasure to talk to you and to all my friends who are hearing me. Let me tell you one thing. I have no regret. I have such uh, I would say I'm so grateful to God that He gave me such a wonderful life. And each day has been a unique experience. The only thing I learn a lesson from my life is that I wake up as a laborer every day morning, go for my work, and come back tired and sleep. सो जाते हैं जमीन पर अखबार बिछा के मजदूर हैं हम नींद की गोली नहीं खाते I work for a day. I have no memories from my past and I don't bother for the future, but I must make sure that I make the most of this moment and move on.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. Wow, that was such a great opening. Wow, thank you so much. So, sir, you've served in the Indian Army Armed Forces for 38 years. Um, 38 years. That's just amazing. How did your military experience shape your perspective on leadership and discipline? Like, how did that change what you are today and what you will be in the future? Because you said you focus on the present, but obviously, the past, the present, and the future have some impact on us. So, how did that 30 years of your life in armed forces have changed what you are today?
Ricky, let me tell you, when I was a young man, I was not too good in studies. So I thought which profession I must join, where is least amount of studies, where I move around to a new place every 2 years. See my country, India is a country. Every 10 kilometers there is a new language, there is new food, there is a new dress, there are new kind of people. You see, so and my profession should be totally allow me to adventure all these places, see deserts, see plains, see mountains, see higher altitudes, see snow, see glaciers, see jungles. And the only profession comes to mind was army. And I gave a simple exam and I joined. And let me tell you, 38 years, I'm a cavalier. I joined an Premier Indian Army Regiment, 74 Armored Regiment, right? Tanks, you see, tanks.
Yeah.
Horses are replaced by the tanks. So the best of the Indian Army, from the academy, they joined Armored Corps. See, so I joined 74 Armored Regiment. And my journey in Army has been very, very adventurous and full of experience. It made the boy a man, man of metal, METTLE, metal. Army, let me tell you, army, any soldier you meet of any country, army works on many dimensions. When you, whether it's your training, your regiment, you're fighting the enemy, training with your troops, you see, army works very strongly on your body. Firstly, they make you physically very strong. If you're physically not strong, you're unfit to fight, unfit to uh, go for a war or do any aid to civil authority, any internal matter, anywhere. You are unfit. So, army works very strongly, strenuously to make you physically strong, your body. Then, army works very strongly to develop your skill. Now, I am a tank commander. If I am a tank man, then I must know about everything about that fighting machine, 60 tons of iron. It is
Yes.
highly computerized, highly technical. I got a driver into it, an operator into it, a gunner into it, you see, and I'm the commander, commanding so many tanks. So I have to be knowing each and everything. My troops listens to me, provided I can give them directions correctly. If I do not know myself, why should they listen to me? You see, so
Right.
army works on firstly your body. So I'm physically healthy. At this age, I will not disclose my age. I'm a very young man. You see, so you're physically strong. Army works on your skills. So you're master of your job, whatever weapon you're using, the use of terrain, use of weapon, understanding the enemy, understanding your equipment, all the tactics, fighting skills. One. Then thirdly, army works very strongly to make your mindset stronger.
Yeah.
If your mind is weak, होते हैं जिनमें हौसले, मिलती हैं उनको मंजिलें. ये दुनिया नहीं है दोस्तों बुज़दिलों के वास्ते. Army tells you that all those who
Yeah.
have the courage, see, they reach the destination. This life, this world is not for cowards, you see. So they make you mentally strong. That whatsoever may be the situation may be, you are mentally prepared to face it, fight it, and win it. So that not only uh, the institution you belong, the parents you brought to this earth, the city you belong, entire nation feels proud of you. There is a soldier who fought for the honor of the country. You see,
Yes.
so army works first on physical level, on a skill level, I said, then your mindset. And army is one profession. It works very strongly to build your character.
Yes.
You, if your character is weak, that's why I say, they say in my regiment, a soldier, if he is not a saint, he cannot be a good soldier.
Right.
He got to be saint first, then Guru Govind Singh. He was a saint and a soldier.
Yes.
Prophet Muhammad, a saint and a soldier. Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, they were saint and a soldier. I can continue telling. See, Gautam Buddha, born in a princely state, he was saint and a soldier. All those people. So a soldier, if the character is doubtful, he cannot be a good, meaningful soldier. Army works on character. How? They tell you that nothing matters besides honesty.
Right.
Nothing matters besides self-respect.
Yes.
Nothing matters besides integrity. Nothing matters besides loyalty to your nation. You see, nothing matters giving helping hand to the needy and poor.
Yes.
You see, so you start putting self behind and others first. खुदा मुझको ऐसी खुदाई न दे रिकी कि अपने सिवा कुछ दिखाई न दे. They blind you. You should not have that vision, that thought that you only think about yourself, me, my. No.
Right.
They say in army, in our academy, they say the welfare of the country you serve comes first and first always. The welfare of the troops you command comes always first and second always. And this your own welfare comes last and always last. That's what. So in this chronology, you develop that character.
Right.
And besides these things, I shall repeat, your body, your skill, your mindset, your character, Army works on giving you tremendous amount of knowledge about the equipment you hold, about the area you operate, about the country you belong, because you are in. Tamil Nadu, you are in Punjab, you are in UP, you are in Uttarakhand. Each has got typical nature and needs. So when you do go to those people for various kind of help, so you got to be good Samaritan.
Yeah.
You got to understand their language. You got to uh, understand their emotions and accordingly provide a helping hand. You see,
Correct.
that's why we call it in army. Your aim should be winning the hearts and mind of the people you serve. You got
So,
to win their heart.
so, sir, you spoke about diversity, right? Going to
Yes,
multiple sites,
celebrating diversity.
celebrating
Diversity.
diversity. So, with that being said, 156 languages in India, more
Yeah,
than 156 languages, and more than thousands of cultures. A lot of diversification in terms of culture, in terms of languages, in terms of food. It's present, right? So, how do you how would you classify the leadership style? Is it authoritarian? Is it collaborative? Is it that one mission, like you mentioned, army has a mission, it teaches you what you need to do, you're disciplined, it instills that discipline in you, the character in you, right? So how do people speak, because diversification is huge, diversity is huge in organizations, right? How does that shape your leadership, one's leadership style?
yeah. Beautiful, lovely question. It's only army, which is the most secular, most multilingual, multicultural, multi-religious institution. A soldier is supposed to be, what? When we join the regiment,
Mhm.
so we supposed to learn the language of the troops, what my troop speaks. Like I 74 Armored Regiment, we
Right.
had Sikhs, we have Dogras, we have Yadavs, Ahirs. Okay, now so I have to learn Punjabi. I have to learn their language one, and I have got to go all the religious institutions. We call it MMG, Mandir, Masjid, Gurdwara, in one building, one after the other. An officer goes to each religious institution because the troops are belong to that particular community. Why? Multi-religious, multilingual. He goes from one place to Gurkhas, he learns Gurkhali. He goes to south, he picks up that language of the Madras regiment, he picks up the Madrasi language. So now what? This is what it is. Though army is self-sufficient, but a soldier is a true representative of my country. He is secular. He is
Mm.
secular. He believes in national integrity and he believes in diversity, enjoying, integrating the. You see, in a regiment, you have officers, jawans from all over the states of the country. They're from different states, different region. They follow, but it's like five fingers, they're separate. When the problem comes, we become
Yeah.
closer and a fist and we give a blow. You see? So
Yeah.
we have to accept others. We should have feelings for others. You should, if you want to really integrate with somebody, learn their language. They feel very happy. Speak to their language,
Yes.
immediately they are connected to you. Right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, of course.
नानक नाम जहाज है चले से उतरे पार. Simple सी
Yes,
बात.
yes,
So that's
yes.
what it is.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. So, speaking of the personality development, speaking of the mindset, your body language. So when I first met you, I walked in the room and there were about 50 people sitting in the room in Summit. And then I saw you, obviously, as I sat next to you. And there was this body language that said, you're welcome. And there was also body language that said the boundaries are set. That's something that comes from a man of discipline, a man who had served in the nation. So I have a question. A lot of people, when they walk into the room, in terms of personality development, they bring their baggage with them, right? Baggage of their own social life, baggage of their own life experiences, baggage of a lot of stereotypes they have. So how can one develop that? Speaking on, now thinking about your book, Everything on Etiquettes that you wrote, how do we define that? What can people learn from that? How can they leave that baggage at the door and then walk in with a set of, what would be the strategies? What do you recommend people should do?
No, strategy is very simple. Have you heard the name of Wagner, the greatest musician Western countries have produced? Wagner.
Uh-huh.
So when people used to go to him for learn music, he used to say, Ki, first tell me, have you learned music from before from somewhere else?
Uh-huh.
If suppose you say, no, I haven't learned music from anywhere, from anyone, I don't know ABCD. He said, doesn't matter. Then your fee is very nominal, this much. If the person says, yes, I have learned from some outstanding person, then his fee is 10 times more than the previous one. He said, why? He said, because firstly, I have to make sure that you really forget what nonsense you have learned so that I teach you what, so that that's a big problem. So, firstly, I have to clear all that garbage from your mind and then start teaching you. Listen, here also, all those come with any kind of mindset, any kind of baggages, right? You see their age profile. Do not work on people who are 40 years and above because they have built such a strong stone mindset, very difficult to change.
Right.
But the younger people, when you show them the better perspective, they adopt to the right thing. You see? So age profile is very important. Armies, they catch the soldiers young. And we retire at the age of 50, 54, 52, very early. You
Yeah.
see? Because what happened, by the time you reach that age, you become very rigid. You become very inflexible. You see?
Right.
So catch them in the young, when they're clay. And then you try explaining them, and nothing happens. You see the bamboo furniture, how it is made.
Yeah.
Bamboo, you take a bamboo, and they can make a circle, triangle, everything. If you bend it, bamboo will break. No, a very small fire. They put that bamboo near the fire and keep moving it. So it's slowly, gradually, it melts and becomes soft, and it turns. You
Oh.
can take any shape. So anything which is, you get the chicken out of the eggs by hatching, not by smashing. You see, to work slowly, work gradually, keep on giving the right perspective, and show them anything. If you want to change people's mindset, the human being is basically a selfish entity. Unless he or she sees her or his own benefit, they don't agree to anything. So in your changing method, you got to tell them that this is beneficial not only to us, to the institution, it is firstly beneficial to you and
Right.
which will help you later in life. Everything. हर एक बात पे कहते हो कि तू क्या है, तुम ही कहो कि अंदाज गुफ्तगू क्या है. You tell them. If suppose every time you say it's only I, then no, I have to listen to you too. Right?
Yes, sir.
Do that.
So, sir, you've seen significant changes over the decades, right? 1974 to 2024. Life, things have changed a lot.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is a challenge and opportunity for today's youth, especially related to technology, especially related to influencing people? Like, you mentioned there are a lot of youth right now that's connected to the technology and they have access to worldwide information, right? Especially coming from you who've seen it all from 1970. Well, I'm just saying 1974 is when you served. I mean, obviously, you've been in school before, you've been in college before, so you've seen more life than obviously a lot of people here, of course, better. Like, you see life more than me. So a lot has changed in those decades. What was the significant challenge that you think that today's youth have?
Right, right. Good question. You see, if I uh, go back to time of our times and today's time, I find there the two levels. One is the technological changes.
Right.
The second is the emotional changes. That's a behavioral pattern. You see.
Mhm. Right.
Now, earlier, earlier one has to do everything himself or herself. There is no remote control for everything. There is no that home delivery system, Blinkit or some zoos. You just order and everything is back and call like a Aladdin magical lamp. You see, let there be light. It was there. So it was. You have to do everything yourself. One. So
Right.
earlier people were more physically fit, less dependent on medicine.
Right.
Why? Because the technology had not given the kind of luxurious life what people have today. One. You see, so the changes has come on the use of like you take a cell we are talking, such an expensive cell. I use only for maybe the WhatsApp or receiving the call or somebody calling it. There are 1,000 facilities where I don't even use it. So
Yes.
human mind has failed to understand what is essential and what is non-essential.
Right.
He wants to take everything, whatever he sees with other. So then he puts his life and soul to acquire that thing, whether that particular thing is of utility to him or not, irrespective. So, firstly, the change has come. Earlier, people used to focus on essentials, and these days, people are focusing all the time in non-essentials. You see, first, technology. Second thing, I said, no change in an emotional level. Love remains the same, caring remains the same. ठीक है? Sharing remains the same. If we're crying for somebody's problem, it remains the same. You see? So emotional level, human being has got the same sensibilities what he used to have 100 years or 200 years before or 500 before. But his living pattern, dependency on the technology, and the kind of concept we have stilled in every this competitiveness. You see, competition is a negative word. Cooperation is a positive word,
Yes.
right? Earlier there was to be cooperation. These days we have competition. I have to be better, smarter looking than Ricky. I should have a better jacket than Ricky. You see, so now this is competition, and that is negative. But
Yes.
unfortunately, today's world is full of competition. The very first day you start from your schooling is how much percentage you've got, whether you know something or don't know anything. But percentage matters. You see, whether you topped or not top. People are here in India. There's a mad race for education abroad. You know the amount of loans, the amount of they sell their houses, they sell their lands, and they land up there. Uh, God knows what they do. Maybe some of them get jobs abroad somewhere, but ultimately, who suffers? The parents. Why? They're focusing on non-essentials.
Right.
So this the kind of change I feel. Rest is in the sands of time. Nothing remains. After the end of the chess game, we only put in the chess box and say tata and bye bye.
So wow, a lot of great analogies and a lot of great poetry that we get to hear. So I have so speaking of that, community service, working in a nonprofit, working in a in army, working serving the country, serving the nation, serving your community. Doesn't when people today's youth they see it right, they most of people I've noticed they see it from the validation point. People who are in the service, people who have been in the service, do it for the passion, do it for the community, do it for do it for to give forward. So validation in social media's life, as you mentioned, non-essentials, right? The materialistic things, the cars, the new movies, the new traveling experiences, where people are flying in first class, people are going places, which is good, obviously. But
Mm.
projecting that in a social media in a technological way. How would you think? Do you think today's youth is more about validation? Let me seek validation from likes and comments. Yes, this is a new era of gathering, of putting information out there. I get that. Every organization does it so people can see because our lives got busy. However, there are people out there who are just doing it for the living. They're actually transforming today's youth's mindset about spend, be materialistic, or do certain things and seek validation. Like cyberbullying has increased, because of that. A lot of people get very negatively impact even if you upload some sort of status on your WhatsApp or on your social media. They automatically have the rights of speech. I'm going to give my opinion and I'm going to see how much it takes. In all of this, where you served and people in the community, in the nation, in this world serves for a passion, and then and there is a we have another aspiring youth who is all about that. So how can you talk about what do you think are we going to meet somewhere in the middle? Like how are we going to get connected back to our roots, to our things that we actually do it for? Because I've seen people on social media, and obviously that's for awareness. People wouldn't know otherwise what would happen, but there are other sides of it. 99% it's other sides, other validations, where they go out and help the needy, right? But they're recording it and they're putting it out there like, oh, I'm doing this. Um, Obviously, it raises funds, it's fundraiser, awares people about certain organizations, but there is a way of seeking validation. What do you say? Are we going to ever connect like to this,
Yeah.
make it in the meet in the middle?
Yes. Good question, and I have realized very hard way. I was as normal like as a ordinary person, anybody else. I had all those factors in myself:
Right.
the tempt, greed, and a desire to acquire more, and to recognition. I must seek attention. People should look at me. People should appreciate me. If I'm not sitting in the front row, then I'm not uncomfortable. I'll go back. Had Ricky has not been talking to me, the synergy three, I would have left that thing. You see, the these are very normal instinct of human beings.
Right.
But I have come to realize one thing. You said ना coming to common place. कि जीना तो है उसी का जिसने ये राज जाना है काम आदमी का औरों के काम आना.
Wow.
The day the day you realize this thing, that only thing goes with you once we leave this mortal world is your good deeds and what you give it to others, what you do to others. You see,
सही बात सर.
service. If you whatever you retain, Ricky, tomorrow you are going to lose it all.
Right.
Whatever I accumulate, I'm going to lose it. Whatever I give, that I'm going to retain it. You see now. So I have come to firm conclusion कि why I do so much of. I'm a pensioner. I don't earn money, but I give my two pension while in service. I used to give my two pays, and I distribute because in Bundelkhand, two things I do every year uh, from my society. Husna is my mother's name. Husna Women and Child Education Welfare Society is my society. I registered in 2009. You see, while in service,
Right.
I realized, Zahid, if you are just consuming and looking after yourself and your needs, so you are living a parasitical life like any parasite or like animal. They also eat, drink, and be merry. You're a
Right.
human being. Huh? You're
Right.
a human being. God has given you a balanced mind, a faculty to think and to know what is right and wrong. So why don't you see the large? If suppose your existence from your 1%, 2%, 10%, the larger section of society get benefited, तो मुझे I get ultimate peace. बहुत सुकून राहत मिलती है कि कोई देखे या ना देखे, अल्लाह देख रहा है.
सही
Why
बात.
should अरे when somebody's God is really is watching you. You see. So now, first thing, there's a natural instinct that I must get attention from people if I do something. It's a normal instinct of any human being, you see, to get noticed. Pardon that. Ignore it. You see, one must learn to ignore things. Not to every question should not be answered. You see,
Right.
every comment should not be addressed.
Right.
You see, it's fine here. If somebody smiles at you, smile back, and that's all.
Right.
You see, don't get into question. Why did you smile at me? You think you are hell of a Casanova? I will tell my husband. Arre, why should you tell your husband? When I am giving you a smile, see that. Don't go and tell your husband, is Colonel Zahid was smiling at me and not tell me what to do. You see, now, so, have that balance. Have that balance, and things will be fine. Besides you, when you sleep, I practice this. When I sleep in the before I go to bed, I look into the mirror, and she's I in a whole day, name one person who is benefited from you, either from your words, a solace, or you visited a sick person, or you help a needy person, or to some one person. If you has been benefited because of one animal has been benefited because of you, one plant has been saved by you, one, you're walking, you see dirt around, you pick up the dirt and put it in the dustbin. You have done something that people don't step over it. You see some stones lying there. You see somebody uh, uh, going in the car. You're going and somebody's car is bad. He's standing. You get down, ask him, "Can I help you?" This is good enough. So if one person gets benefited out of you, you have done your job. Move ahead. Move on.
Right. Right, sir.
I'm a very small person. I cannot change the world. I'm
Right.
not the God who creates things. No, but I will make sure that wherever I am, with my words, with my action, with my hand, I'm convinced, Ricky. Hands which serves are better than the lips that praise. You see, the so so you do that and you will be fine. But very important to realize, I see those people are very unfortunate who live just for themselves.
I yes, sir. Unfortunately, we see that a lot happening nowadays, right? So you have been, sir, you have been awarded the Sena Medal for gallantry,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
you said you took 6 bullets to your chest
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
serve
yeah,
the community, to serve the nation, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so that happened. And with God's grace, right? You're sitting here in front of us.
No,
And
I have to be alive. Otherwise, I've been talking to you. You see,
yes, sir.
I have to. Yeah,
Right.
that's why God saved me. That's why
Exactly.
God saved me for this podcast. Okay, right?
And many other things you do. Right.
Yeah,
You never know, right?
yeah,
Who had prayed for who
yeah,
and how it worked
yeah,
out. So
yeah,
that's a very decorated medal.
yeah.
And you've received that. How would you describe that the what did that teach you as an important life lesson? I mean, I have so many other accomplished examples from your career, but this is something that I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if people know that this is what you have. So can you just
Oh,
throw some light
yes,
at that?
I'll tell you. This incident happened in a place, state called Manipur, one of the small state of India, which
Uh-huh.
is bordering Burma, Myanmar now, and the place called More. What happened? The militants, the NSC and IM has looted a bank,
Oh,
and they were running. They were trying to cross over the border to Myanmar, Burma, so that we don't catch them or they go out. We have our informants, a set of network too, and I was 30 kilometers away from the place of incident. You see, so
okay.
I've got the information. This is what has happened. Go and catch them before they flee to the neighboring country. Right? It's a mountainous area.
Right.
We have the trained people, troops, the commandos, the vehicles. We reached there, and before they could melt, we caught them, and there was an exchange of fire took place. You see, I killed six. I got bullet hit, and there are my soldiers. Two of soldiers also died. You see, and I was evacuated to the hospital. A whole lot of story, and we recovered all the money. We recovered six weapons. We got six militants' body, everything, and it was national. It wasn't national dailies. We have done this big an action. But when I was recovering in the hospital, the only lesson I used to talk about what lesson I get.
Mm.
Do not talk about my chivalry. It was coincident. Anybody who is in my place would have fought like this only because one has to save his life. You see,
Right.
if you
Right.
don't kill them, they will kill you. You see,
Right. Right.
so you automatically become very brave man. So I'm not claiming that I was hell of a brave person. I was as normal like anybody else, but we fought. You see, so only lesson I get is Zahid, you are nothing. You have nothing in your hand. They're my fellow soldiers who died.
Right,
They're
sir.
my fellow soldiers who lost their limbs and this thing. They're fighting for life and death. And you are recovering. I had a whole lot of operations and I survived. So only thing I learned the lesson. कि राजी है हम उसी में जिसमें तेरी रजा है. Oh God, now I agree. Whatever you decide for me. राजी हैं हम उसी में जिसमें तेरी रजा है. अब ये छोड़ दिया है तुझ पे चाहे जहर दे या जाम दे. No God, give me whatever you do. I am with you, but I will do a right thing always. Whether I live or don't die, do not ever shy away from doing the right thing. That is the whole lesson I get.
Well, sir, as a fellow Indian, thank you for serving the nation. That means a lot. There are people at the border taking bullets, and then we don't even know. And so the people in the cities, in the villages.
This is a very sensitive point, Ricky. I feel deeply pained when the people who do not understand fully the kind of sacrifices these soldiers do on the borders.
Yes, sir.
You are safe. You are enjoying here. Only cost of that one person who is all somebody's son or somebody's a husband, or something, brother. You see, who's standing in the border
Right,
and
sir.
a most inclement weather. You see,
Yeah.
where you can continue your podcast, do your dancing, go to pubs, drink as much you can, follow your profession, anything. So I feel like when I move around, uh, God and soldiers are remembered only on bad times.
Yes, sir.
Other good times people forget. You see, so
So,
honor soldiers, honor veterans. You
yes,
see, uh, yeah, that is what my humble request to all the people of the world. You see, they
that's
have given their youth. Sir.
it's very unfortunate that it took pandemic to
Yeah,
realize.
yeah.
2020 pandemic, it took a lot of time for people to realize what medical professionals, what soldiers, what other
Oh,
people that are first line responders are, and what what it is that they bring to the table. Sadly, there are so many fires that you guys and the other people have put out before it even got to their bosses or to the main people. They've already put out those fires. They've already handled those situations that could have become drastic, that could have made a significant negative, could have had significantly negative impact on the world or in the country. So, I honestly, I feel secured. I can go home. I can walk around. When I was in India, or when I'm in India,
No, Ricky, what my humble with this podcast, a message I will give to a whole lot of humanity. Don't feel compassionate, kind to veterans or soldiers, or uh, feel secure. No, make sure that if you in your life, if you come across a veteran after post retirement, he's struggling to find job, help him. If he's a, I is help him in any way you can. You see, rightful way. I don't say a wrong way. Rightful way. Help him to re-establish himself and adjust to the society and live respectfully. Because he lived a very honorable life. And when he comes to civil, he cannot match up with the kind of any businessman or any civilian. They got piles of money. He's still moving in his old car or some this thing and looking for jobs. Most of the veterans, they do not get the re-employment properly. You see, what I wonder, they're highly trained people, highly disciplined. There's so much of self-respect, honesty, integrity, everything. And when they step out of the army, they struggle. That is what is very painful. And some of them are casualties. Some of them are even disabled. You see.
yes, sir. Yes,
So
yes, yes.
the only way what we can do to make sure take one single wall. Okay, anybody who comes to in your contact a veteran, and in your contact, this is the veteran sitting in front. You must help me,
So
right?
I
Don't go and report.
right, right, sir, right. I agree. I agree with you. So, with everything we've done, you've authored 17 books. Uh,
Yeah,
Amazing, amazing, and you have the highest selling book on Amazon as well. Not just you authored
yeah,
them, you have the
yeah,
one of
yeah,
the highest selling ones.
yeah, yeah.
So, if I were to read one book of yours today or one chapter, what kind of message do you think I would get from those from your favorite book? That
Okay,
as per my generation, my age, you know.
done, 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 done. Of all my 21 books,
Oh, it's
two
21.
books,
I'm sorry. I thought it was 17. I'm sorry. It's 21 books.
20. Okay. All are for me. All are good. All are nice. But two books are really. I feel that everyone must read. Firstly, as you said it, on my father's first death anniversary, I said that everybody does the rituals of as per the religion's right. They do it. I said that is no. I must do something. At first death anniversary, I wrote this book. Everything you always wanted to learn about etiquettes. I've learned from my father how to eat, how to drink, how to talk, how to shake hands with the people, what is the mannerism of the entering to a lift, how to traveling a train, when you're boarding a plane, what is the mannerism, when you go for entry, what is the mannerism, how you dress up for right occasion, when a lady comes up, you introduce lady first or yourself first. There are many ways, you see. If suppose you're standing in front of a lift, a person comes in a wheelchair and you are rushing to go in. No, allow that wheelchair person to go in first. The lady comes, allow her to go in first. How does go take another left, or you take two stairs? So all these things, everything you learn about etiquette is just make what I feel, what my father used to tell me, very truly. And I've learned the same thing in army also. Our senior officers, they should the same. We all learn education, get the degrees and certificates, but grooming is not proper. If the grooming is done perfectly fine, where you're told all these things, then you become a perfect, balanced human being. This book of mine has been translated into 7 international languages, right? Everything you always wanted to know about etiquette. One. The second book, which is most dear to me, I did my PhD on HIV/AIDS in Indian Armed Forces, a case study in Northeast, right? So in the process, what happened? I met 5,000 sex workers
Okay.
to find out who are HIV infected and what has happened. So there was an NGO rights of my friend in Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada. So when I met those ladies, I used to have sleepless nights. How difficult life those ladies has got no fault of this. You see, so all those 5,000 sex workers of all levels. You see, the poor, rich, single, spinster, all kind of. So I wrote a book, the pleasure woman, the life of the Indian sex worker. Pleasure woman,
Okay.
pleasure woman, the life of the Indian sex workers. This book, besides my PhD, whatever I talked to them, whatever I felt as a case study, 50 women's life I documented. I wrote 303 pages book,
Wow,
and
sir.
I suggested how society must be compassionate towards such people, and how what action should this people should take, what action should state government should take, what the central government should take to integrate them into a regular
Regular
normal
people.
life
Right, right.
and give them being देखो mother to fetus HIV आ गया तो अब
Yes,
उस बच्चे की क्या गलती है यार.
yes, sir. Yes,
HIV does not mean that he cannot be touched. If he eats, I can eat with him. I can come to same schools and everything. You see, antiretroviral therapy is there. They are under medication. There's no problem. Now, thank God, it is eradicated quite a lot.
right.
But when I wrote this section of society, especially the women, they are treated by society very badly. You see,
Yes, sir.
so out of that thing, that book I presented to the state government did pretty well, and a lot of people, a lot of NGOs have worked on that. So these two books are prime. Rest also, I don't write fiction. I wrote only on the behavioral modification on personality development. You see, when I tell people here, it's called personality development. You should have little bit of personality, then it can develop. If you do not have anything, how can you develop it?
Right, right, sir. So
Uh,
sir, they are available on Amazon, just for the
yeah,
record.
yeah,
Oh,
all,
on
all.
Amazon. Okay,
Mhm.
sir. Thank you. So,
By the
wow.
way, my publisher, I told you my publisher is in
Yes,
California only.
yes,
Pam
saw
Pam
that.
Colon Sandhu. If she hears it, she is the one who made me an author actually. You see?
Oh, wow, sir. Wow. Well,
Uh,
we thank
Wonderful
her
lady.
for,
Uh,
putting that information, because it's just, I feel like it is so hard to find publishers, right?
yeah. Asra publication, you put it in the net, Pam will come.
Okay, Pam.
Wonderful lady. Pam Colon Sandhu.
Pam Kronos.
And she invited me so many times to California, I'm not able to gather so much of money to go there.
Arre, sir.
Oh, she get it. She get it. She, wonderful lady. I'm so grateful to her. Yeah, all
अभी
my books she has.
अभी आपको दो बंदे बुला रहे हैं, एक मैं और एक पैम, सो अब आपको आना
हम आएंगे.
पड़ेगा।
हम
अब
आएंगे
आप
इंशाल्लाह.
अब आपको आना
हम
पड़ेगा।
आएंगे इंशाल्लाह. हम आएंगे जरूर आएंगे. हाँ.
So, sir, you are a seated director general for the university in Kanpur, right?
Yeah.
From a decorated colonel to a university director, that transition, how did that transition happen? Like, how did that
Oh,
happen?
what happens? I superannuated on 31st December 2014.
Okay.
Right. I retired from army, and 1st January next year 15, I was the Director General in Access University Kanpur. Right. And since then I'm there. Uh, I, I I came to already limelight because I used to go to institutions giving talks. Uh, and what I did while in service, I accumulated so much of qualification.
Yes, sir.
Army, there's a system there you can join evening classes. So I did my twice masters while in service, twice masters MSc topped it. I did MBA, I topped it, gold medal from the governor. I did mass communication from JNU. I did twice the PhD and so many things. You
And you
see,
also
so
have an honorary degree from
yes,
one of the universities, foreign universities.
yes, yes.
Yes, you
So
do.
so
Wow.
all these things are there. Uh, I feel I must make use of time. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't have friends. Uh, my wife doesn't like me. I don't like anybody else's wife. So we got all the time to ourselves. Everything is fine.
Same story. Same story. Don't drink, don't. Same story.
So only difference that you say I go to tell my husband. I never say I have to go and tell my wife. That's the difference. But I have decided, Ricky, I
Yes.
have to be happy
Yes.
because you're born once, you die once. There is no one for. losers. There's no one for crybabies. Okay,
Yeah, yes, sir. I agree. I agree.
just just be happy and move on.
So, sir, wow, such an insightful session this is. I feel like this should keep going on because, this is so much informative and so much, just my mindset has changed completely about how things have changed. Wow, just qualification itself and the experiences. So, finally, giving your rich life experiences again, humbleness and the way you said it many times, be happy and be live in the present moment and just enjoy life. What do you believe? I'm still gonna ask. What do you believe
I,
is the
I
key?
tell you, if you can propagate my learning message to the world, to people, uh, I just point wise. Firstly, wake up early.
Yes, sir.
Make sure everybody gets up early. Wake up early. Second, go to bed early. Make sure everybody. ठीक है? Tell people cut out on alcohol.
Yes, sir.
Tell people eat whole food, regular food.
Good diet.
Tell them stay hydrated, drink lots of water. It's that simple.
See, good body, good
Eh,
mind, good life.
Nothing. I don't talk about very big things. These are things if you can put it into your life. ठीक है? There'll be tremendous amount of and my habit read minimum 15 minutes every day. Minimum anyone and everybody read whatever 15 minutes every day.
That's
If you want no, lift a dumbbell 5 times every day so that your arms remain strong. You see?
sir, same as सब कुछ.
Yeah, but it's छोटी सी बता रहा हूँ इसने and very important, spend minimum 60 minutes every day in learning a new skill or building your skill, updating yourself. That's it. इतना कर लो, you will be unstoppable.
Nice, sir. Very, very nice. Wow, sir. These are basic things of life, and people actually
Basic.
fail to do them.
मैं कहता हूँ ना, परों को खोल, open your wings. परों को खोल, जमाना उड़ान देखता है. Open your wings. People want to see take your a flight. जमीन पे कुर्सी पे बैठ के क्या आसमान देखता है.
Correct.
Get up, get up. That's
Nice,
what it is.
nice, very nice, sir. Wow, I'm just very much, um, just full of, information now, and few just wow, this is just wow. So if people wanted to follow you and people wanted to know, get updates from you, can you share your social media handles if you have?
Oh yes, yes, I'll do that.
And
I'll do that. Zahid underscore blogspot.com. मेरा blog है, और Facebook Colonel Zahid Siddique. They can connect. WhatsApp. These all these things are there.
yeah,
Um,
perfect. Perfect. Well, well, wow, sir, thank you so much for taking time. I know it's like 9:45 p.m. over there, but thank you so much for taking time. I know we spoke about a lot of good stuff, and we got to know you a little bit more. And again, it's just amazing to know. And my salute to your service, and and the continuing difference, a positive
Thank
difference.
you very much. Thank you very much, Ricky. May God be with you always. I would love to see you always smiling and as vibrant as you are. You and your empowerment people around you.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you. We shall remain in touch.
Thank you, sir. We shall. Thank you, sir. Thank you.